Hey everyone, this is Matt from endsickness.org. Today I'm going to be talking about the term depression. People say I have depression, chronic depression, when really the reality is it's not depression. It is that you have unresolved emotions that you have not been willing to or able to be addressed. And these are past traumas, things from childhood, obviously, things from recent years, current situations that remind you of them. And the reality is it's not depression. It's These are unaddressed emotions. These are things that you stuffed under the rug. These are things you never addressed in the current moment when they were happening, and that they've started to follow you. And now the depression starts to carry more and more, and it starts to kind of take you over because there's so many unaddressed emotions and experiences that you've had that it starts to just feed into that subconscious that you're not safe, that there's always something wrong, there's something you need to be fixed, there's something wrong with you, there's something that's threatening in your environment. All these thoughts that slide in there when you have depression. I had severe depression at one point in time. And, I realized eventually that it wasn't depression. It wasn't something I had to identify with. This term depression was simply just a diagnostic term. And the reality was I had emotions that I was unwilling to address the majority of my life. Once I started to address those emotions head on, started to implement other mindfulness practices, deep breathing, start to look at my emotions as the observer and not get taken away with them. And guess what happened? The depression disappeared. It wasn't a real thing. It was just a word that someone created that is a group of symptoms. People have a group of, they don't feel well, they're sad, they're etc., and they call it depression. So don't buy into that concept of depression. The idea is you need to go towards your trauma, towards your fears, towards the things that are scary to you, towards the things that are in the past, and try to understand why you feel the way you do. The first step is always acceptance with these events. The next step is just working with it from there and doing the best you can, to live your life in a way where those past events are not recreating your future and not controlling you in the present. So lose the depression label. Focus on the thoughts that are interrupting your day. Focus on the reoccurring storyline that's behind all these events that are occurring in your life. Let yourself become the observer of these stories, of these expectations, of these fears, of these threats that you're perceiving, of all these obstacles that you're creating in your own mind and your reality. And then you realize, hey, these are things I can change, not this depression thing, which is just something that it's a hands-off admission that this is something beyond your control when you buy into the depression thing. What I want to say also about antidepressants, hey, I've been on them in my life multiple times, but I want to say, there are times in your life where you feel down. There are times in your life when things happen that really suck, and it makes you feel extremely wiped out for weeks, months. This is natural at times in life. It does not mean that you have a depression that needs to be, treated in some manner. It's just you need to go allow yourself to go through the cycles of life, and when you're down in the dumps, you're going to pick yourself back up. The light's going to come when you're in the most dark place. It doesn't mean you got to reach out for something external to fix the internal emotional battle that you have going on. And this is something I really want to put emphasis on, because when I was in the middle of that, I was taught to go seek medication, and this messed me up even more mentally and made me dependent on the medication. Then when I came off the medication, I felt there was something wrong with me, and then I was bought in this idea that, hey, if the medication makes me feel a little better and I feel worse when I come off it, then I need it. And then I was hooked into the traditional medical system, bought into all the pharmaceuticals, etc., when the reality was I just had unaddressed emotions from my childhood that I was unable to really cope with. And if someone was able to talk me through these things and really help me understand that the things that I was doing were because of it, then maybe I would have been able to avoid this depression diagnosis and the medication and all the things that happened because of the medication afterwards. So don't buy into it, everybody. The thoughts are within your control. This is part of brain retraining, is that you lose the labels when it comes to these diagnoses or these things that control you. Focus on only the things that are within your control. Stop focusing on the things that are outside your control. Let it be, and expect things to get better. Feel free to join my page. You're going to have hundreds more videos out here in nature. And my website, endsickness.org, has hundreds of articles and hundreds of videos. Take a look when you have some time. Thanks for watching, everybody, and hope to see you again soon.